meanwhile, for Alireza Firouzja, a firebrand. He brings on the fireworks, does not shy away from all that madness that Arjun will create. This is Fire vs. Ice.
Game number 1 already beginning. Remember, this is now a best of 6. So going to have to get to 3.5 points to be clear and advance. If it's 3-all at the end of 6 games, we will go to an Armageddon game. We kick off with a King's Indian.
And in the meantime, a quick trade of pawns. The White Queen came out early to pin a black pawn, preventing black from re-establishing some central control. It's all about the Black Knight now being active in the center, potentially though about to be hit by the white central pawns advancing. Both sides castled, early days, still opening theory. Alireza Firouzja though, he's been playing this exact opening consistently since the Esports World Cup began. So how well has Arjun Erigaisi done his homework?
That's the big question, right? And amongst that, other questions come up as well. Now, both these players, we've discussed their style of play, right? Super combative, super energetic. I'll also tell you one thing. We've been talking about Alireza Firouzja, what a speed beast he is. He's fast, he's ferocious, he's Firouzja. But I'll tell you one thing about Arjun Erigaisi. He's usually the player who always has more time on the clock than his opponent. Equally fast on the clock. And I think this one, once again, in those time scrambles, those nervy positions, those complicated battles, it will be about who handles the pressure better.
So this is what worries me a little bit, because I'd love to be able to say fire versus ice, this style versus that style. This is going to be a fantastic clash. But so far today, we have seen consistently the player with more time on the clock has been able to weather the storm more. We've had players who are really quick, but if they're down on the clock, that hasn't quite made up for it. And I don't know if we're going to be able to change that here.
Unless you're Alireza Firouzja, let's not forget his matchup against Nodebek behind on the clock first, but then in those bullet moments, he just always catches up.
Absolutely.
And took him down. Arjun Erigaisi, meanwhile, already builds a little advantage on the clock, but it's not about right now. This is not going to be about the opening. It is going to be about those crazy middle game battles. David, which one of the two is faster?
It's tough. It's that age-old question, right? Do you play good moves because you have more time? Or do you have more time because you've been playing good moves? And ultimately, Alireza Firouzja, I think if it comes down to 30 seconds, level position, equal footing, still enough kind of ammunition left on the board, he's going to win. I still believe the mouse skills, the trickery, the experience, but Arjun Erigaisi very rarely gets down to those scenarios.
How do we want to be forcing Arjun Erigaisi to get down to those scenarios? From a strategic point of view, how will Firouzja be using the clock? Are we developing something, some preparation that maybe he hasn't brought out for other opponents, specifically against someone like Arjun?
Yeah, it's difficult. I don't actually see Firouzja regularly using the weapon actively as a clock. It's out of necessity almost. He kind of gets himself down to time trouble. Arjun Erigaisi's games for a long time. This is one of the highest heart rates I've seen him with in ages. He's normally down at 60, 70. For him, this shows he is nervous. He's feeling the heat. Firouzja pushes forward with the pawns, the Black King moving, but breakthrough. Those pawns can continue to push. Is now the moment. Firouzja says no, he waits, but the White King will soon start making his journey forward too.
It could be the White King, it could be the White Pawn, everything looking really good. Meanwhile, Arjun, he tries to create some distraction on that right flank. F5 on the board. You want to try to trade off as many pawns as possible. Liquidate the position on the other flank so that if you're forced, you can give up your knight for one of the passers. And that's the big hope to try to draw this game. I'm expecting Arjun to continue as well, with the G-pawn moving forward next.
First Firouzja, he doesn't bring his king forward. Now he does, only after a trade of pawns. Look at that Black Knight, sidelined. It has to protect the promotion square for White's B-pawn, but you're essentially playing down a piece. As long as Firouzja keeps a pawn alive on the other flank, he should have enough to convert this to victory. 52 seconds in the red now for Arjun Erigaisi. Firouzja takes down two, but look at that Black Knight trapped.
Black Knight's trapped is going to be all about Arjun trying to create some counterplay on that right flank. He first shoulders Alireza's king, stops entry, entry denied, pushes the H-pawn. G4 has to be the move right now. You want to keep as many pawns on the board as possible.
Wow, big moment. He does push the pawn forward, and the eval bar drops, the most human move, the most natural move. Maybe now the Black King in the endgame, long term, has a path towards those white pawns. First a check from Arjun Erigaisi, still super difficult to defend this one. The Black Knight totally trapped. The Black King, if it gives way, will allow the White King forward. This one looks hopeless now, but it's a race against the clock.
It's a race against the clock, and now the king finds another path in. King B6, King A7 is going to be very difficult to hold. You could just keep attacking that knight, the sole defender. The B7 pawn, too far gone. And 25 seconds for Firouzja. He's frozen, he needs to make a move.
Frozen Firouzja, he needs to move. There's only one winning idea, that's to bring the White King back. It's suddenly not so clear. It's a race now. The White King's going for the black pawns. The Black King should have gone the other way. It's a race, but the white pawn, the G pawn, will make a new queen.
And the only chance for Arjun now is to try to flag Alireza Firouzja. But 14 seconds? The bullet beast, the hyper bullet ultra beast, that should be surely enough for him with the queen on the board.
Going for stalemate, Arjun Erigaisi, but it's not going to work against Firouzja. 12 seconds is enough. The queen gives a check, and that's game over.
Complications in the end game, possibilities of rescuing something from this game, not quite with 12 seconds remaining on the clock. Alireza